Hello and welcome back to the 6th Street Underground, a Zenless Zone Zero fan cast discussing all things ZZZ. As with every week, I'm your host, Eric Sorensen, and I'm joined by my co-host...
Me!
Brian.
Brian, yeah.
Hi, Brian.
Me. Hi. Hello.
Happy Yanagi's been released since the last time we recorded day.
Happy Yanagi Day.
Happy Yanagi. Every day is Yanagi.
It is in this glorious new Erdu.
Nude Eridu.
No.
Eridu. Nope. It's not nude.
No.
It's new Eridu.
Well,
it's
I could really use a hand with that pronunciation. Speaking of hand, we got our first member of hand. That was a silky smooth transition.
You did a really good job. I'm not going to highlight that this is our second hand character because we've had Shokaku since like launch.
She doesn't count because I forgot about her.
She doesn't count. I didn't have to roll for her, so she doesn't exist.
Exactly.
I'm excited to talk about Yanagi with you. I've wanted to talk to you about Yanagi since she came out, and I'll like be sitting there going, I should talk to Brian about this. And I'm like, no, I should save it.
The internet needs to know.
So other people can hear me talk about Yanagi. She's good.
I find her to be quite good.
She's quite good.
I enjoy her play style.
And that's been the 6th Street Underground podcast. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks for having us.
It's been great, as always. So Yanagi's our newest anomaly character of like the last three. Am I right, Brian? The last three characters we've gotten were all anomaly characters.
You were incorrect.
What?
You forgot about
Caesar. I forgot about Caesar.
How could you forget about Caesar?
Caesar, I barely remember her. I love Caesar. She's always, anyways.
But yeah, aside from that little break, they have been going very anomaly heavy.
Yeah, which I thought was like, at first I was going, okay, so we're just going to be all anomaly characters, huh? But like, I saw an infographic recently that was like, even with the last 3 out of 4 characters being anomaly characters, there's still more attackers in the game than there are anomaly units in the game. It's just like there are more like A rank attackers and whatever.
It definitely seems like they had a lot of really cool, unique ideas for anomaly, and so they didn't want to waste it because if you make a generic, because like you said, a lot of the A rank attackers, they feel pretty similar. You know, there's a little bit of different, but the S rank, they really try to make them each play and feel differently. Yeah, and I feel like if you like kind of dumb down the anomaly, they would just feel like another form of attacker anyway, so they just kind of probably lumped all of their ideas for A rank attacker, anomaly, whatnot into just attackers, and then they're like, because we don't have any actual anomalies, we got to start just pumping them out.
Yeah, well Jane will power creep Piper, but I think I hadn't thought about that like maybe it is because anomaly, apart from just like numbers tuning, and then you start to lose some of the things that make the new characters interesting. Like, it must be, I guess, hard to make anomaly units that feel good to play, but aren't as strong as their S rank counterpart.
Yeah.
There's not official information yet, but word on the street is that we'll be seeing another anomaly unit in patch 1.4. So when that becomes, I think it's official. We got some leaks. Miyabi's coming in 1.4, and Miyabi, who's also part of Hand, is she's anomaly, and her elements listed weird. So I'm not going to go off on that tangent now, but like we will be talking more about Miyabi and the fact that like apart from Lighter, who's about to come out, we're getting more anomaly units. But Yanagi's our anomaly, electric anomaly unit. She's in there in the same place as
You got this.
I can do this. No, I got it. Grace.
Yes.
But I mean, like I've dabbled some with Grace, and I found Grace to be hitting a lot of buttons and a lot of fun to play, but I didn't necessarily see like the effect of what I was doing the same way we see when we're using Yanagi, because she pops off.
Yeah, Yanagi feels she feels fun to play. You see the difference, like there's a noticeable difference between her two different stances. Once you get the timing down of like where in her chain you can switch to the other one, like juggling the buffs and keeping 100% uptime on both of them, it does not become that hard. And especially if you know, I mean, even if you just rely on her special EX, where it like automatically throws it out no matter where you're at in the chain. It's not that difficult to keep her up.
Yeah. I actually wanted to talk about that because when I first started playing her, I felt like I could not tell which form I was in, and that it also didn't matter apart from having those 2 buffs up in the top left. And so there was definitely a learning curve to figuring out like what you were saying, right? When do you switch? How do you switch? I wish it was a little bit more noticeable when I use the skill to switch forms.
It's definitely an audio cue that once you learn the audio cue, for me, I don't have trouble like hearing it or seeing it now. But like a lot of these characters, like picking her up at first, it was a little clunky. I couldn't figure out reliably how to get her into it because you got to get the timing right on when you can press it without having to use your energy.
Yeah.
But then once you do it, like you can get it pretty reliably. And it does feel good when you switch and you go from, instead of her being like her straight line, you go into the arc and you hit a bunch of the weak mooks and then you switch over and you finish them off. And so I like how she plays. I like her style. I know you're not as much of a fan of like the clean cut characters.
I was mid on her for a while, like aesthetically. Like I get it now. Like I get it now. But yeah, like just like she's one of the few that like she's not going to be my phone background. Like the still images don't do her justice until you see her do like her dope pose with the
she has so many anime poses. Like obviously it is an anime game, but like she has the typical like she turns her back to something and a huge explosion happens in the background and she looks super cool. And
I mean, yeah. So like what it feels really good when you start landing her chains, right? Because like if you haven't dabbled with her much, using her skill switches her form. But if you use, and what I did want to like highlight is like, hey, we finally have a character who's an S rank that can use their skill without needing to be like the EX version.
Yeah,
which is great.
There's actually a use to the non-EX version other than just to be like, hit me when I'm not gray.
Yeah. I accidentally hit the button before I had more energy built up. But if you use that skill and you just tap it after her during her third, fourth, or fifth attack, then it switches to the other form and you can skip to her third, fourth, fifth attack in that form. So as long as you keep chaining it, it's like all electric damage. It's really flashy. She's dashing between the enemies and that feels really cool. It is punishable because like if enemies move too far away or I still like, I'm very comfortable with her now, but I still sometimes will mistime a dodge. So I've gotten too used to playing Jane where I can just if you dodge whenever I want.
It feels like you actually feel it when you get like knocked out of your rhythm and you have to like restart the chain.
More props to Caesar so you don't get knocked out of your rhythm.
Oh, but, Caesar's been so good. I mean, everyone knew it's not a secret that Caesar was going to be good with everyone.
It is gratifying to be like, we were right. Caesar's a game changer. I do like that you can kind of save your energy up because if you use her hold attack, it essentially can skip you to that same chain again. So like you can use her EX version to get back into your rhythm when you've been knocked out or dodged out of it or you switched. The last attack for each form has a really long animation to it that you can animation cancel out of. So you can trigger that and then switch to your Caesar or your Bernice. And she's still on the field pumping damage, and you're getting your buffs set back up and all that. Just remember, because I think we've all learned this the hard way now, that if you have Caesar and you're relying on Caesar's shield, and you switch in that way where Yanagi's still on the field doing damage while you switch, she ain't got that shield no more. Like that shield goes away immediately. And so like there have been one or two times where I'm like, why is my Yanagi at half health? And it's because she got hit by attack after I switched character.
I have had that before too, where especially when I run my Jane, Seth, Rena team, and I'll be like, Rena's been on the field for like 2 seconds. Why is she getting beat? She's been under my control for 2 seconds. She's been on the field defenseless for longer.
Yeah, she's been sitting there, and like that is why my battle tower, which we're going to talk about in a second here, is currently at 24 out of 25 that I want to get to. Is because I goofed around during like floor 22 and got some damage on my units thinking, it'll be fine, and then just have not enjoyed resetting through 25, so I'm just going to again. But I like that we have this slightly more complicated character to figure out. Like, she's not like using a sword and shield in Monster Hunter levels of like spreadsheet or
no,
she's not that complicated.
I don't think there's been a single character in
no.
ZZZ that's been that complicated. Like,
yeah,
they're all pretty easy, especially if just picking up, they're not intuitive. But if you do their little demo and you play around with them, once you have them for a little bit, they all kind of they become kind of easy enough to play. There's no one that I feel like you said, there's no one I'm constantly like sweating where I feel like, oh gosh, I gotta keep like 18 things in mind while I'm playing them, and if any one of them screws up, then the character just loses everything.
Yeah, like she's the closest I would say is Soldier 11 for me, if you want to keep her fire attack going during her attack chain, because that is timing based, and it's all like you have to just know where it hits to get it right. But like that's the only thing I can come close to being like the most technically complicated character. There are things to manage though. She's got her different buffs, she's got her different states. My favorite thing about using her right now is the satisfaction of using her skill to change forms to also counter an attack. Oh, because when you use it, it parries.
It feels so good. You're just so like, you get out of here, trash. I did that deliberately, and I'm not panic switching because I just like making her do cool moves.
Exactly. The hardest I've had with her was in like Shiyu Tower on like floor 6 or 7 when you're fighting 2 robot mechs or something at the same time. And there's just enough things coming at you that you're just being punished constantly for not defensive assisting or dodging through things or what have you. And it's still manageable, but it takes a lot more thinking than some of the other characters. Like, not to slander Jane, because I think Jane's complicated in her own way. But like, Jane's like, is your meter good? Go for it, dog.
Yeah.
Like, dodge when you want. You're fine. It's Yanagi's like, is the meter good? Have you switched recently? What are you doing here? Don't get hit by that. Well, if they go too far away, I've got to catch up again. Use this, whatever. But like, I like that she wants to be on field. She plays really nicely with characters like Caesar, which I think we're both using, and Bernice, because Bernice is like, let me tag him and then just let you have fun and do your thing. And she really loves disorder. So the fact that like Bernice is off field applying disorder for you, so you're proccing these extra damages. It's very enjoyable. She's a fun character to play. If you haven't played with her yet, dabble a little bit. Highly recommend. If you do her trial from the videotape store, after you've killed the enemies, you can talk to the Bangbu and reset them again. And I did that 2 or 3 times to just get used to the rhythm and to figure out when I was supposed to switch.
Oh, I didn't know you could actually do that.
I did. Yeah, right? Because you kill things so quick.
That would be very useful because, yeah, there's definitely been times where I've been like doing it and I'm like, I wish they had like an infinite like trial mode, so like you can just sit there and actually just have the waves of enemies get used to it. And
if you have her, you can do that, and free trial mode, you can set it, and like that's where you can even customize like the enemies don't even attack. So like, let me just learn the combo. Let me learn the timing for this. For me, the big click, like at first I was going, her hair tie changes colors by form. There ain't no way I'm going to keep track of that during fighting. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Oh, no, there's way too many colors and explosions and movement.
And it was exactly like, it was learning that after she does her big in the air attack, hit skill, or after she does her dash through and thrust attack, use the skill.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I do, unless I need a quick parry.
That was the same way. I had to learn. I found the easiest way was learning like what the like 3, 4, and 5 move looked like when it was finished and it was available for you to switch. Because otherwise it can get and I mean, there's still a lot of times where I'm just like, I'm hitting and I'm like, it's not doing it. All right, let me hold down E and just force it. I'll teach it to tell me to play the game correctly.
That's usually a good hint for me to be like, let me make sure my Caesar buff's good. Let me make sure I've got, like, that's a good time to switch to Bernice and charge back up her attacks again. Yanagi can play well with some other characters. I think there's apparently like a Rina team that's like all electro, or it's like Yanagi, Rina, and Caesar. I don't have Rina, so I can't try that out.
Yeah, this kind of goes into the what's that new mini event at the VR lounge? Not the 2 permanent ones they added. The one we were just talking about before, the one you haven't played yet. Virtual Battlefield Mayhem. So it's got 3 different tiers.
Okay.
It's basically like a lot of them. It's got like, each little node has 3 different rounds, and they have generally some sort of thing you have to accomplish. And then the last one is, it looks like all 3 of them are going to be solo Yanagi missions.
Okay.
Okay. But before that, they have trial teams, and so the trial team that the game recommends is Yanagi, Seth, and Bernice. Okay. So you could, if you got Caesar and Seth, you can kind of switch them. They're kind of interchangeable, and then, like I said, or if you had, I guess it's kind of you do either Caesar and Rina, or you'll do like Seth and Bernice to make sure you're getting. You want elements from someone else.
If you don't have either of those, she does play well. Like we've said, Seth. She plays really well with Seth. You can try slotting in like Lucy, just because even without the resonance between each other, like Lucy's attack steroid is just really good. And Yanagi, unlike some of her other anomaly characters, actually does care about attack coming in.
Yanagi definitely, she basically builds attack in anomaly.
Yeah, and she is one of the few that can benefit a little bit from from penetration ratio, which is really nice, because like so far the only one who cared about that is Grace, I think. So like getting some pen ratio, not only is getting some pen ratio rolls not necessarily bad, it can be equivalent to or close to equivalent to electric damage for her disc 5, which is, if you're not using your like guaranteed electrics, or you just had really bad rolls, but you've got a really dope pen ratio sitting in your pockets, like that might be worth using at least for a while.
But yeah, and I depending on the W engine, like if you for some reason happen to roll for her W engine, like I did,
go on.
The buff from it just straight up gives her more attack. So she's definitely built around just massive amounts of attack, and so right now my Yanagi is pretty strong.
She's stacked, dude. You sent me a picture. Like I was prepared to send you my picture back and be like, look how mine is, and I was like, I'm not sending this picture. I'm not even close, dude.
Because I'm using her, Caesar, and Bernice as my team 1, and then I have Jane, Seth, and Rina as team 2. Yeah. And I mean, granted, part of it is Caesar and Bernice are so nuts, but now my Yanagi, Caesar, Bernice team is stronger than Jane, Seth, and Rina. But that's also, you got 3 S ranks compared to essentially 1 S rank and 1.5, because Rina is an S rank, but I don't have her at Mindscape 1, so her buff falls off so quickly that it's not often up. It's mostly just still Jane soloing thing while Seth panic throws shields on her in case I miss a dodge or get caught in my my cow sow and just tank a hit.
Yeah, dude. So I was dabbling with 2 different teams, and I realized that my Seth, I never upgraded any of his skills at all. So I was like Googling, like, did ZZZ give us the chance to reset a character's skills? What happened? And I just had been like, I know Caesar's coming out, so I'm not going to invest in him. So
no, I could definitely say I need
to do that now.
Yeah, I went back and I started looking, especially after, because Yanagi was the first character that I couldn't get her to like a good spot immediately, and I had to pick and choose. And after actually leveling someone, there is a huge difference between having fully invested in them and just leveling them, and just being like, yeah, go forth. Like, it is. I
mean, I did his like A through F were done, so like I'm still getting the full steroid from his shield, but like the shield is not lasting very long. Like, so yeah, I've been pairing her with Bernice whenever I can, and then throwing Jane in there, because Jane really still continues to be able to sort of hold her own. in a lot of ways. But you mentioned W engines. I was going to mention real quick that this is an anomaly unit who actually can use, if you manage to pick up Grace's Wenjin, she can make use of it, because I know we talked about like Bernice really doesn't want it and Jane really doesn't want it. If you're going for the battle pass, Electro Lip Gloss, the little kissy face one's pretty good.
If it's Ryan, not already on one of your,
if it's not already on somebody. You and I were both, I don't know if we did this on the podcast or not, but we were kind of bemoaning the fact that like there just are not a lot of good Wenjin options that we've gotten. I mean, there's two you can get from the store. There's Weeping Gemini and Rainforest Gourmet, which tend to be like Weeping Gemini tends to be pretty good if you don't have anything else. But with
what a ringing endorsement. Yeah. If you have no other choice, it will still do.
I think one of my units is using it. I don't. So I've got Weeping Gemini on my Grace now. We're running out of like Wenjins for anomaly units.
That's how they force you to roll for the special character ones.
I do think and we'll cover this when we get more information. I think we will be getting a W engine in the next major event for the patch for 1.4. It's going to give us a Wenjin if it follows the same pattern that Genshin and Star Rail have done, which is like alternating patches with major the major event will reward a weapon the first time and a character the next time, and they just alternate. So we got a free. Did we get a free unit this time?
We got a free Bang Boo.
We got a free Bang Boo. We got a free Lucy recently. So the next thing we're gonna get is gonna be a free.
Because we had that that W engine from the Golden Week.
Yeah. So no idea what it's gonna be. I am hoping with them teasing like Miyabi coming out and her kind of being one of the reasons that like people were sold on this game, that they will release a rank engine that can work for her. But we'll find out as soon as we can. We've talked about Yanagi for a long time.
Not long enough.
We can keep talking about Yanagi. I will openly admit right now that I was wrong, because I was kind of neutral on Yanagi, and I was pretty neutral on Miyabi as well. But after playing through the special intermission Virtual Revenge,
they know what they're doing. Those special intermissions, they highlight the character, they highlight their personalities, make them interesting and cool, and make you want to pull for them.
So I want to talk about Virtual Revenge. I do want to put a little sticky on. I'll flag it in our notes. We are going to talk a little bit about that event. So if you haven't done it yet, I don't think we're going to get super deep into like the narrative. And I don't think there were any major reveals, but if you're trying to go full spoiler free, there will be a link in the comments or the notes to skip ahead.
So far, the special intermission kind of falls in line with Jane, where they're character focused. They're not so much main story focused. Like it hints towards futures of the main story, but it really doesn't introduce anything new.
It sold the team.
Yes.
And boy howdy, is Yanagi's team a bunch of goobers.
Characters.
Like they're characters welcome. They're without Yanagi, they would each one of them be completely unable to function, it feels like, in actual society.
Oh, 100%.
They're good at what they do, but they need the Yanagi glue. Even Miyabi, who I was like, she's gonna be boring and like super serious, and like, nah, she's a goofball too. She's a
space cadet.
She's a complete space cadet.
She's a small space cadet.
She's a small space cadet. There's a small Oni who's just a absolutely feral gremlin.
100%.
And is it Haramasa? Is King Slacker. Like, boy, does he just not want to do it.
What was it? Harumasa Masa is his
Harumasa
name?
Masa.
Yeah, 100% King Slacker doesn't want to do anything. Is forced overtime constantly. But yeah, then all of them are competent in combat, and then outside of combat, they would just rot in a room if left to their own devices.
They'd be stuck in the room, unable to figure out how to open the door. I don't have a lot. Like, I don't know. I thought the Virtual Revenge narrative was fun. It wasn't too serious, but it was like a good way of introducing the character. Like you said, it introduced the characters and kind of set that up.
It was. I think it had a lot of cool visuals. Like, I really liked all the visuals, the fight scenes, kind of the. Mm-hmm. It was. I really
Animation
like.
keeps
I know we've talked
standing
about
out.
it before, but like so far they're doing really good about for the actual story parts now. Just honing in on not wasting your time. They are just you're coming in, you're doing
Get
the
it
story
done.
because I think you could probably knock out the whole special intermission in like
I did
3
it.
hours.
Yeah, I did it in a day. I sat down for a day and did it.
Yeah, it doesn't
between
even
work
take you
stuff.
a day. It's
No.
um
The moment that I was really excited about was when you walked back outside of the HIA the first time and there was nobody there.
yeah, that was
And I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. We're still inside the machine.
they did it really. Yeah, they made it really cool.
It was cool. And they did have that moment where I'm like, Yanagi, figure it out. Like, I've clearly figured it out. I need you to hurry up and figure it out. Like, don't do the anime thing where it takes us 14 episodes to be like, this is all a fabrication. Just like do it.
Yeah, it's the same thing we talked about with the Tour de Inferno. They're not belaboring their points. They're not making you do it 5 times to really hammer it over your head. You have that quick segment where they do their investigation and then they move on. They don't, like you said, they don't make you go to scene from scene to scene and just pad it out.
Exactly. Like, it felt good. I liked it. It was fun. It made me excited for more. I found myself kind of bummed that we didn't get to play as some of the other characters from Hand. Like when we did 1.2 with Tour de Inferno, we got that chance to like dabble with Bernice before Bernice got released, and that was really cool. I had wished they could have done that with Miyabi. I understand why they didn't, or Harumasa. But
Yeah, I thought they might with Miyabi, just because. Was it? What's that one mini event that they're also doing? The Moonlight Echoes.
Yes, that sounds right.
It's like Remnants of Moonlight, something Moonlight, and they have
Moonlight.
Yanagi's portion, and then they have a locked portion. So I'm assuming Miyabi's going to unlock, obviously, with that. But yeah, I thought the same, that maybe they would go ahead and unlock her at some point, but it doesn't seem. Well, I know for a fact that they didn't because I'm current and she's not unlocked. So.
Yeah, because I haven't played with her yet, and I've done everything. So if you could do it, I would do it. But yeah, instead of getting her in the game, what instead we got is a whole slew of new like permanent additions to the game, and also some changes. Like really quick, I wanted to highlight.
Did they?
I like the new weeklies so much more than the old weeklies.
Yes. And obviously this is our first actual week where it's available.
Yeah.
But so they have like a Bang Boo helper. So I'm wondering if those are like to really help you, because I know like it seems like there's an RNG as to whether or not they spawn every time the day shifts. Because even if you force shift it, there's still a couple help Bang Boo or find events that I don't have.
Yeah.
I'm sure part of it is the times that it did spawn. I've run by them because I'm doing stuff, and then I don't think to actually look for them.
My grid didn't have that because I've done all of the open world events. So my grid does not have a help Bang Boo option.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
Yeah, so
you can't miss out.
they will force you. They will hold your hand and make sure you find all the help of open world.
Do it.
So that's nice. That's a good way for people to actually get out and like make sure you can experience this stuff. But I like
more reward.
The weekly's
more
good
stuff. It's the way you get the new currency for the collectibles shop, which I'm looking forward to them expanding some. So you can put things on your shelf.
Yeah, it's a lot of nice stuff where you won't feel awful if for whatever reason you can't play for a week and you miss out. You're not going to be missing out on the chance to get weapons or anything, stuff like that. It's just going to be you've got to wait an extra week to unlock the collectible you're saving for. I mean, not counting all the polychromes and the normal stuff you already miss out on, but
don't think about those.
They added a collectible instead of more polychromes or something, so it's nice. I like it.
Polychrome. I've discovered there was a whole little tab of our like battle guide that was like for 11 tutorials for basic game functions.
Oh, you didn't.
I had never done those, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Free polychromes. What's up?" And free character experience or account experience. Yes, please. So, did they just add those, or is that something I've just been missing since?
I think it's just something you've been missing, because those I've been checking pretty regularly as I scrape together every last polychrome to feed my addiction.
which you can get some from the new two of the other permanent features I want to talk about.
Yes.
Talk about the battle trial, the tower. I hinted about it some earlier. Battle trial don't play like it's the new tower.
I haven't done the battle trial actually that much. I've done more of Arpeggio Fault.
So I'm going to talk about Arpeggio Fault in a second. So battle trial, if you're just polychroming, you stop getting polychromes after floor 15. So like there've been plenty of people who are like, that's enough for me, I'm out. After floor 15, if you get up to 25, every 5 levels your rank goes up, you get a new sticker for your name card. If you clear 25, you unlock endless mode, which I've seen video or pictures of people like in Japan who've made it like floor 1000.
That's a lot.
Apparently, like just the way it scales, it ends up kind of like being like a repeating cycle of difficulty instead of it being infinitely scaling to just being insane amounts of HP and defense or whatever. But like my account's pretty well built, and I'm using some of my best teams. And even with like a fully built, stacked up Caesar shield, that shield's getting 1 to 2 shot by any enemy.
Have you tried having Mindscape 6 unlocked?
Now I need to go back and go ahead and just pay a lot of money.
I do like that because I know we've talked about before. A lot of the events are not overly challenging because they want to make sure that people of all skill levels can complete them. Because there's nothing worse than when they make events way too hard or too high of a level for anyone jumping in to even attempt it. So by adding these permanent features that have a really, really tough endgame mode, like you said, you get to 15, you got all of the polychrome. So if you're not interested in an endless battle tower mode, you don't miss out on anything really. You miss out on a title and some stickers and stuff.
Things that like you think you care about and nobody cares about. Like nobody looks at your account and goes, I see this guy's only got level 20. He's only gold level instead of platinum. Nobody cares. Like it doesn't matter. Nobody looks at it. But yeah, like I think people who are saying this game needs difficulty, they are like pouring difficulty in all these different ways. But to your point, they're not making it inaccessible to people who are like, I play this game on my phone.
I play it on my phone. It's something I do for fun. I don't want a job. I don't want to play Elden Ring, the anime fight simulator.
And I will say, like I know it's a new episode, so I have to mention Genshin at least once. Genshin's been doing that with newer events, but the hardest versions have been like too sweaty for me to clear. And so I'm hopeful that ZZZ
and you're a sweaty boy.
And I'm a sweaty boy. Not anymore. Thank you, medicine. But like I'm hoping ZZZ keeps up this balance because like on one hand, I'm not missing anything by not doing the hardest difficulty in that game. But on the other hand, like I'm a day one player and you're close enough to being a day one player, like, and we've got these pretty built accounts. There should not be content that I just cannot clear because I don't have just the right things set up.
Yeah, because I think I finished out all of my Shiyu defense stuff now that I have two good teams, so I finished those out.
You get your 7/7?
Yep.
My man, all right.
So now I can farm every 2 weeks that they release a new
It's every
Shiyu?
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, so
and
I should be able to farm those relatively reliably and
cool.
But yeah. No, like I said, I'm at a point where I feel good. I'm going back. I'm doing the hard modes for those extra polychromes and whatnot.
And it's nice that ZZZ is a more skill-based game than a lot of other games in the same market that are out there right now.
There are some that are just
like,
money-based.
It's just money-based, or like it's having just the right characters. I mean, the video I saw of the person who cleared level 1000 in the tower, the guy had Billy Kid on his team. Like, he was using Billy. So it's clearly not like you have to buy all the S rank to clear it. So, you know, it's just another week of us gushing about how cool ZZZ is. But I do appreciate the balance.
Who knew that a fan podcast would gush about a game?
Yeah, I know. The balance of difficulty versus reward versus like stretch goals. I think like they've hinted that we're getting a whole nother like Hollow Zero mode in 1.4.
Okay.
Which is going to also be more difficulty. Like they've taken these elements and been like, how many different ways can people access this and have fun with our game? And it's a lot of fighting things. But we're also getting
TV mode,
some much needed TV content like Arpeggio Fault,
which I think it's fun.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
How far are you?
I finished the first depth. What was it? Depth 12.
Yeah, because there's like 5 depths. There's 5 regions.
Yeah.
I've finished the first 2 regions. I really like it. I find Arpeggio Fault, like, I don't want to miss anything on a level. And so I end up like doing a lot of like meandering around the levels. And so it takes me a lot longer to clear than just sitting down and doing a blitz run of Hollow Zero and getting all that done for the week. But I like it, Brian. So like, tell me about it. What do you find's working? What do you think's interesting?
So I haven't gotten to the point where it's gotten hard yet.
Yeah.
So far it's been pretty easy street where you just go around, you pick up your friends, they run around, they beat up everything for you, and then you just run over spike strips as you frantically pick up collectibles.
Yeah.
But I like it because there's no combat. Not really.
Yep.
It's combat in the same style of anyone who's played the secret mission of the Bang Boo Fight Club.
It's Bang Boo Fight Club or Prophecy, which if you haven't done those, you should do those. Those are fun.
But yeah, either way, so yeah, you're running around, you're running into Bang Boos, and you're beating them up, and then you're collecting treasure.
Yeah.
It's neat. You know, you're kind of just running around. I haven't gotten to a point where I've failed. But I'm assuming, you know, at some point, like any roguelike, you know, if you fail, you can go back, try a mission again, try different, you know, get different friends to help you out.
Yeah, you can. I liked that you get 1 point for every enemy you kill, and you can use those points to unlock new friends, and those friends stay unlocked forever.
Yeah.
So like, and then you can also spend those points to unlock how many people can be in your team, up to 3. If you are just looking for a way to cheese your way through it, there's a combo that only requires 2 people. That's busted. It's Nekomata and Nicole. Because Nekomata, I believe, she gives you money every time you take damage. Every time you deal damage, she gives you money. And Nicole's attack scales off of, I think it's when you take damage, her attack scales off of money. So if you just stack up tons of the plugins that give you a chance to generate a health spot whenever you take damage, your characters don't have a max health. Those health spots just raise your health by 10.
Yeah, so you basically
like,
just
there's no max.
Farm infinitely.
You just find one spike, and you wiggle on the spike for a while, and the whole time you're healing, you're generating money, and eventually your teammates are also getting that same health from the health square. So then you've got like a Nicole with 300 attack and 300 HP.
Yeah, so you're just being silly.
And then you just sort of walk through the level. I've heard, I haven't gotten there yet, I've heard that like you really don't need to do that till you get to level 5. Like some of the things in level 5 are pretty steep in terms of like the numbers you have to hit.
Yeah.
And then they do want you finding these like character combos and everything.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those games where there are going to be strong meta whatever combos, because they even had that in the Bang Boo Fight Club. They're like, hey, you could beat it, or you could find the interaction that we put in there that makes it super broken, and you just basically auto win without even realizing you were in the final fight. Like I stumbled across or I accidentally, I mean, it wasn't exactly complicated. It was pretty smooth brain. They're like, someone who scales off health they get damage equal to their health, and then there's this thing that constantly increases their health. And I'm like, I wonder if this could be an intended interaction.
What happens if I combine these two things?
And then they're like,
I did it.
And then put him at the last spot, so that way when everyone on his team's dead, his health is tripled and he's doing 300 damage.
But like, I love that.
I like that they...
It feels good. It feels good to be strong in these modes. I like that there is a easy way to clear it if you don't want to just keep grinding it.
Yes. Again, it goes back to the accessibility. If you want to challenge yourself, that's fine. But they also make it so you could just do it, knock it out, bask in the Denny's, and then go home. And
the polychromes, because like if I remember correctly, there's 5 tiers per node, and there's 5 nodes, and you get 30 polychromes per tier covered. So like that's 25 times 30.
That is
which
how
I'm
math
doing
works.
In my head right now. 750 polychromes for doing this little mode plus other things is not bad. And that may not be an accurate number. Like, don't quote me on that.
I have quoted you. Thank you.
Yep. Go ahead and clip that chat.
Chat that clip.
Shot that clip. That's the chip clap. The chip clap.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
I think you're bugging out.
Yeah. For being a mode that like is just like free stuff to do, that's great. I think that's going to be permanent. I want to say that if you want to get the Bang Boo attached to it, which is the Night Boo, then you have to do.
They announced that Arpeggio Fault
timeline.
They announced Arpeggio Fault is going to be permanent because they made that very clear. They're like, Arpeggio Fault is permanent, but if you want Night Boo, he's limited time. You got to do him now, which is cool because that way, you know, they can do little updates. They can add extra floors or challenge rooms or whatnot to this mode now. So now that they've got it established, you can go out, do, you know, and once again,
build on it.
You know, you're like, hey, I know this combination. I can knock out this really quick. Or they're like, I'm going to do a really weird combination and do it. And
I'd love to see them do like a second iteration, but mix up, like change what characters do or add in different characters as a way of like building off this foundation of a very responsive and is pretty quick paced TV mode system, but like, yeah, like make it so like, yeah, sure. And Arpeggio Fault, you can combo Nekomata and Nicole. But if you're going to do the second one, you really want to try to be using Bernice and Yanagi or whatever, whoever feels really nice together. So yeah, I think I like that that's been added. I know we've got another couple events coming down the pipeline. Some smaller events, some pieces to unlock, or just like to gather more resources. We do have Lighter coming up pretty soon, who's going to be a fire stun unit. I don't know, man. I need to save up because I want Miyabi. But I'll still put 10 into Lighter, and if I get him, I'll be very excited. Either way, I want to dabble with him as much as I can. I'm hoping that they give him like I'll test him out as much as I can figure out, get used to his pattern, see what he feels like.
He does look like he could be a really cool, like he looks like an interesting play style character, and I'll be interested to kind of see.
If there's a team that comes out that I like that would be better with Lighter, I'll probably get him on rerun. That's my usual like go-to for these things, is like, unless I'm like, I gotta have them or I need them for a team right now, I'll see what they fit into, and then they will rerun. I think we're coming up on our first rerun pretty soon.
Yeah, I think we talked about that. I don't know
if they've said anything for 1.4.
I could see them like taking a break because it'll have been 6 months roughly.
It's been a while. I guess I could try to look up when the first version came out. It's been a minute. I'm sure we'll get probably Ellen run. I will say in other Hoyo games, they do not rerun in sequence. So like just because Ellen came out first and then it was Juyuan, that does not mean that the first rerun will be Ellen and the second rerun will be Juyuan. Like they just sort of, they play Calvin ball with the rules for rerolls as far as I know. And I do think in 1.4 is when they said that all agents will be able to be walking around in the overworld instead of just the new ones. And decibels will be individual instead of being shared across units.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah. Yes. So they're changing because like right now you only use ultimates on like one character.
Yeah.
So as far as I know, I know they're going to put decibels being individual character based. I don't know what that's going to do when it comes to like generating decibels. Because like right now I'm able to use Bernice's ult pretty consistently. Because the team generates for it. And I do know they're going to be raising like all enemy HP and stun amount are going to go up a little bit, probably to compensate for the fact that like now all three of your characters can use their
if they
attacks.
Even if they're generating at like, I don't know, a 10% rate of the main character, being able to just rip out 3 ultimates would be pretty.
Yeah,
it'd be nice.
I think the only thing that might, like, I bet we won't even notice it. The only place that we might notice it would be on teams like Yanagi, Seth, Bernice, or Double Anomaly that don't have a stunner, or Caesar on the team, where you're already not proccing stun super quickly and you don't have a lot of stun generation. I imagine you might see like it take just that much longer.
I don't know. I feel like
stun, but I don't know.
Like with Yanagi, I feel like they stun super easily.
I think like it depends on the enemies.
Not compared to having like a dedicated stunner, but definitely more than compared to how Jane plays. Like Jane,
Yeah.
Jane is she beats the crap out of them, and maybe they stun, maybe they don't. Yanagi, I feel like I don't know if maybe it's a function of disorder or.
I want to look that up. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I wonder if disorder does have a higher scaling,
or if it's like a thing of
stun quotient.
Yeah, I don't know if it's disorder, shock, or what, but I feel like I generate about twice as much stun through my Yanagi team compared to when Jane was running it.
If you do know those numbers, please let us know, and we'll correct it on the next episode. But I think that would be like a buff for Jane, though, because like I don't want my enemies to be stunned on Jane. Like I want them swinging at me so I can dodge their stuff and keep my passion meter going for longer. So yeah. Bump up that stun level. Like, go for it. That sounds great. I'm just going to dodge through it anyways. That's the news, I think. Like, that's where we're at right now.
That's all the news fit to be reported.
Everything there is. We're all having fun, just playing through everything. I'm trying to get caught up on, like, there's a couple of little things I haven't done yet, just because there's been other stuff going on. But, Yanagi.
Will Lighter be out the next time? I don't know. Lighter might be back by the time we release our next episode.
When does the Lighter banner go up?
I guess it's only been a week for Yanagi, hasn't it? Or has it been 2 weeks?
Do you have your game open right now?
No, I don't.
Okay. Date start for Lighter is November 27th. Our next episode will be out on November 28th. So, Lighter will be out, but we will not have had the chance to talk about him yet, just because of the way recording works, and the 28th is also Thanksgiving Day and all of that. So we may not be talking about Lighter until 2 episodes from now, but if we get the chance to play with him early, or maybe we want to do like a quick drop, if there's a need or a desire, we can do a quick drop for Lighter between weeks. Anyways, Lighter's coming. Yanagi's going to be out for a little bit longer, so if you haven't gotten her, you're trying to save up, you still have some time to do so. Or hoard your rolls, because we do have Miyabi coming up, and Miyabi is part of that special faction.
Triple anomaly meta coming.
She's in the it's gonna be triple anomaly meta. She's a Void Hunter. She's our first Void Hunter, and we got like the Void Hunters teased in a video like before ZZZ even dropped, where we learned that like Fairy's not the only AI, and there's also the other ones. We have still not figured out what is going to be like in Genshin. The Archons are like the must pulls. There are these like characters that come out that are in unofficial groupings that are like not must pull, but like they're usually pretty stacked, and most accounts want them on their team. There's a good chance that Void Hunter becomes that for ZZZ, just because of like the way they are in lore and everything. So if you are on the fence, keep an eye out for our little ice swordsman. But we'll have the chance to talk about her some more too before they come out, because she's not out till 1.4. That's it, Brian. If you have enjoyed what you listened to, feel free to tell your friends, let people know, talk about it online, whatever you want to do. If you have anything that you'd want us to talk about, if you have clarifications or just want to say hello, you can message us through our email at sixthstreetunderground@gmail.com, or message us on our Podbean site, or I think we're on Tumblr, because I don't know how social media works, and that one linked to Podbean. But message us, talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. Good luck on your pulls. That's it.
Stay Yanagi. No, that's not a catchphrase.
Try again.
Goodbye.
All right. Bye. You all set to record? All right, cool. I have a terrible cough, which I feel like I have a terrible cough like every 2 months at this point. So I will have fun editing all of that out. It's 100%. Oh no, I'm going to sample that and make music out of it.